church. Domynique says, screw to break the contract fee, baby. Y'all gonna emancipate me. I got my notes. I hope y'all got yours. Let's get on into this damn mess. Y'all, so let's jump right on in. Now listen, to my returning church members, baby, welcomes, and to all my new people, please make sure to smash that subscribe button and to also click that bell notification so you are notified every time I decide to upload a video. Now baby, listen, my outfit today is given to all the ladies in the place with style and grace. Allow me to lace these lyrical douches in your bushes, okay? That's that classic Notorious B.I.G. baby. And fun fact, me and the Notorious B.I.G. baby, we share the same birthday, so I am descended from greatness, okay? At least birthday wise. Now let's jump on into this mess, right? And let's get on into the topic at hand. Baby, we got to talk about Domynique and Mackinley to start, okay? I would be remiss if we didn't. So let's talk about how Dom chooses divorce, right? And so we could use this video to talk about, is 25 too young? You know, was she not ready for the process? I think it's actually a combination of things, okay? Was 25 too young? In some cases, no. But I think in Domynique's case, it's exacerbated by the fact that she didn't even sign herself up for this process, okay? Her mama signed her up. So when you combine 25 with the fact that your mama signs you up, I think it was a recipe for disaster, right? Now listen, being in your 20s, like I told you last week, honey, you don't deal with a lot of stuff, okay? In my 20s, I was young, juicy, fast, footloose, and free, and I wouldn't have dealt with somebody who wasn't my ideal archetype either, okay? But that kind of stuff, it comes in time. Being in your 20s is akin to me to being a child, right? What do they say about children? Children are brutally honest. They say it like they mean it. They don't think things through, and they don't realize the ramifications of their actions, okay? And I think that's synonymous with Domynique's situation, okay? In her 20s, she's not equipped to deal with the facts of trying to work things out with people, right? That comes in your late 20s and your 30s. And to be completely honest, it's something that you develop with maturity and with age, okay? So I don't think she was equipped for it. But also, quiet as it's kept, I blame her mama, okay? I blame her mama. I think Domynique and her mama, I think they share equal weight in this situation, okay? The burden is on both of them. Domynique was not ready, and as her mama, you should have known that she was not ready if you were the one that was signing her up for this process to begin with, right? Now let's move on to Domynique sitting down with her mom. And so it was kind of like this whole thing of them trying to, like, you know, I call it like a relationship autopsy, right? You go through it, you find out what you could have done better, you know, what the other person could have done better, X, Y, and Z. And the first thing, or one of the first things the mama said was, I wish I could have talked to the man before we got to this point, okay? Don't we all wish that, right? But your daughter wasn't equipped to work things out. Now, another thing that the mama said that basically, you know, resonated with me was she said, did you allow the man enough time to change after you know, gave your concerns to him, right? And the answer she gave was basically very flippant or whatever. I didn't have time to wait or something like that. Listen, you didn't give the man enough time to change, but that comes with maturity, okay? When you are in your 20s, you are very single-minded, okay? In your 30s, you want to figure out a way to work things out, okay? And you weren't there with that situation. Is it your fault? Partly. Is it your mom's fault? Absolutely. Y'all share the blame in the damn situation, okay? Each one teach one, and y'all do better next time. And just like Pastor Cal said, maybe you don't need to be in a relationship right now, because listen, there are no perfect people. Domynique, if you are looking for a perfect person, it does not exist. But in the eternal words of Leslie Jones, baby, you have to go out there and find somebody with the least amount of manageable issues and make it work. So until you're ready to do that, you're not ready for a relationship. Now let's move on and talk about this couples event pressure. In terms of them sitting down. It actually happened at the end of the episode, but, you know, I like to loop in everything, you know, that we're talking about the couples at one time, right? So in terms of the couples event, they all sit down and they go through, you know, the mundane conversations. How's everybody's relationship doing? How's yours doing? Anybody had sex? Nicole and Chris still the only ones who, you know, Nicole and Chris are still the only ones who have had sex to date, right? Everybody else taking it slow, okay? But what I really want to talk about is this whole couples event pressure thing, okay? Y'all, last week I was basically saying that Airris's cousin was going to come by and basically darken our doorsteps in terms of her always being Airris's hating ass cousin, okay? But one thing you could learn from that lady, honey, is staying 10 toes down with what you feel, no matter how misguided it may be, okay? Say what you want about Airris's cousin, but she is 100% down for her beliefs, no matter how misguided they may be, okay? And the fact that in that moment you felt so much pressure in terms of Domynique to basically tell the people what they wanted to hear versus what you felt in your spirit speaks volumes, okay? Then you get back to the apartment with Mackinley and he's like, are you really trying to give this a try, or was this just, lip service? And we find out it was literally just lip service, okay? You said what somebody wanted you to say in the moment, okay? Granted, I understand peer pressure. I understand being, in a situation where you feel like you're at a detriment and you want to make people happy, but you want to advocate for yourself and you don't quite know how to. But listen, just like with the relationship stuff, that stuff comes in time, okay? And Domynique, if you can't even stay 10 toes down in terms of what you feel in a situation, how can you make a damn relationship work, okay? Because yeah, you're supposed to compromise with the other person, but you also have to be secure in your own thoughts, your own decisions, and your own way of how you want to move forward, right? So I understand the peer pressure, but if you were 10 toes down in your damn decision, nothing would have changed you in that moment. Now let's move on to actually one other thought I had, baby, is listen, I give Airris's cousin a whole bunch of hell. But quiet as it's kept, maybe Mama should have some tutoring sessions with Domynique in terms of staying 10 toes down in your beliefs. Let me get off of that before I get crazy. Let's move on to Jasmine and Airris talking about Airris's cousin, and let's talk about Airris sitting down with his cousin. Now, as I said before, one thing we can learn from that lady is that she's 10 toes down in her beliefs, no matter how misguided, right? But in going with that, just because you're loud doesn't mean that you're right, okay? People always think if I'm the loudest person in the room, if I'm getting my point across, then I'm right. No, okay? You are committed not to like this lady. And what I learned a long time ago, baby, is do not argue with people who are committed to misunderstanding you, okay? And in going with that, we can get to my second point, which is Airris's cousin and Jasmine, they see each other, okay? I didn't have any problem with Jasmine not wanting Airris's cousin to be there, okay? Let me tell y'all something. As far as I'm concerned, this is some grown lady stuff. You don't like me, I don't like you, but when we see each other, we can keep it civil and keep it moving, okay? Everybody ain't got to be best friends. And let's be completely honest. If you are having a housewarming to bring people into your situation, to bring people that love you into your situation, to bring people that care about you into your situation, why would you bring Airris's hating ass cousin to basically bring down the whole vibes? You don't want to bring somebody to your damn housewarming who the minute they leave, you got to sage the whole house down, okay? You got to get them bad vibes and them bad spirits out of there. Y'all are already dealing with enough between the two of y'all. The last thing you need is somebody throwing additional fire onto your damn tsunami blaze. And that didn't make sense because a tsunami is about water, but sometimes my brain don't be braining, okay? You didn't want to have anybody throw any additional fire onto your damn inferno, okay? Thank you, Jesus, for helping me. Now let's move on to the actual housewarming. And how I'm going to approach the housewarming topic, y'all, is I'm just basically going to talk about, the message that the friends had for the husband and the message that the people had for the wives. So what was told to the husband, what was told to the wife, and what they basically can go forward with that, right? So in terms of Jasmine and Airris's housewarming, the message for him was, can you see yourself growing with this person, right? And so that's literally the struggle that he's had, right? Because y'all have the fundamentals down, but y'all don't have the sexual chemistry, right? Can you see yourself growing with this person? And what Airris basically said to, Jazz's family is, we just basically have to be committed and we have to keep putting, our best feet forward, and hopefully we'll get to our goal, right? Very kind of non-committal, but you kind of have to meet her being honest and not hurting the the friends and family members' feelings. So I think he did the best that he could in that situation. In terms of the message for her, Airris's friends basically said, be patient, you have the fundamentals, let it grow. I do identify with Jazz in the situation, right? I think that I approach relationships a lot like Airris does, right? In terms of having that whole physical component. Like, it's never been a problem in my relationships of people being attracted to me or me being attracted to them. You understand? So sometimes that is the best, the best kind of concept of if you guys can move forward in a fruitful way if you have that physical chemistry, right? Because normally you do the physical chemistry first and then you work on the fundamentals later, but y'all actually have it a bit backwards. I'm not saying one path is better than the other. It's just different, right? Y'all have the fundamentals down, okay? But you have to work on the physical chemistry. Can it work? I don't really know because I've never had that personally work in my situation, but Married at First Sight is about doing different things than what you've always done. So I think you at least should go through the process and try to see if it can work, right? So good luck to Airris. Good luck to Jasmine. Y'all basically have the fundamentals. Let's see if, y'all could work on the physical chemistry. And Airris, I'm about tired of you talking about getting rid of that lady dogs, okay? Y'all drop down in the comments and let me know if you agree, okay? I'm so tired of hearing him saying if she didn't have the dogs, I would be happy. That is $45,000 running around that lady house at any point in time, okay? As long as you got Jasmine and them dogs, you ain't gonna be broke a day in your life, honey. So get information. Now let's move on to Nicole and Chris. And we gonna talk about something stupid at first, okay? Y'all, please go with me on this, okay? And don't read me too hard, but y'all, something petty just irked my spirit about the Nicole and Chris housewarming. But baby, why was Devontae late? Why was he late, church? Why was Devontae late? Okay, baby, as the only black person in a sea of white people down to that housewarming, why was your black ass late? Okay, it bothered me so much to my spirit. And listen, as somebody who struggles with being on time because CP time is real, I was like, Devontae should have been there 15 minutes early and left 15 minutes after everybody else left. Okay, no, I'm just joking. But it really did irk me in terms of why Devontae was late. So y'all drop down in the comments and let me know if it irked your spirit too, or if I'm just being stupid. Now, on the topic of this damn housewarming, let's talk about the message for him, which was to be the nice guy, but don't be a pushover. Right now, before we get into that, y'all, was it me or did Chris kind of look like a deer in headlights when he was talking to Nicole's friends? Okay, it was like, Chris, blink twice if you can hear me, blink 3 times if you need help, okay? I don't know if it was just that he was out of it or scared or some combination therein, but it just seems like that man wasn't all the way completely there and he was terrified, okay? Drop down in the comments and let me know if you agree. Now, in terms of the topic, it's the same thing that we've talked about from the beginning with Chris. Yes, you're nice. Yes, you're what she, hasn't had in the past, but, you can't always kind of go along to get along with what the other person wants you to do, right? So be the nice guy in the situation, but don't be a pushover. But quiet as it's kept, listen, Chris is only a pushover when he wants to be, okay? When he actually wants to advocate for himself, honey, he gets manipulative or he starts crying, okay? So I don't think that y'all need to tell him to not be a pushover because I think he got it down in spades, even if there may be a dark element to it, right? Now, in terms of their message for her, find a compromise between always giving in to what he wants, or always find a compromise between always giving in to what she wants. And so if you actually think about it, y'all, once again, we're going to bring up Devontae again. Okay. Chris's brother wasn't equipped for the conversation, okay? He did not look like he wanted to be there. That's number one, okay? Number two, Devontae was already late, all right? And when you are late, you are working at a detriment, okay? You trying to catch up. So quiet as it's kept, honey, Nicole basically gave herself her own message. I told y'all Nicole is a firecracker. She talked, and it seems like she did most of the talking in that conversation, and she gave herself her own message. So that's why I said her message was basically to find a compromise between always giving in to what she wants in terms of having Chris find that compromise, right? So Nicole, good job on getting your own message. Devontae, be more on time. And Chris's brother, Player, will see you when we see you. Let's move on to Kirsten and Shaquille. And let's talk about the kissing thing again. Y'all, I'm so tired of Kirsten talking about this whole I'm not a good kisser thing. I told y'all back maybe 4 episodes ago, sex and kissing are 2 things that you have to practice at to get better, okay? You can read all the manuals, all the books, all the internet articles, all the magazines, but you got to do it in order to get better, okay? So stop talking about it and Kirsten, just be about it, okay? Next time that man try to kiss you on your forehead, just basically move your head and move it up and just start to try to, you know what? Move from the forehead to the damn cheek, okay? How about that? You give him kisses on his cheek, he'll give you kisses on your forehead, and before long, y'all make it around to your damn mouth, okay? But stop talking about it, be about it. Now, in terms of this housewarming, the message for him was to be there, keep breaking her walls down, be persistent. And his concern in that was, you know, when does being patient turn into being a sucker, for lack of a better word, okay? Can I be too patient in the situation that I'm basically just going along to get along, right? And his concerns are valid, but I think Kirsten is a very peculiar bird, and I don't mean that in a bad way in terms of a bird or whatever, you know, in reference to women. I just mean like she's very peculiar. She has a lot of idiosyncrasies, right? You know, she doesn't like to kiss. She takes things extremely slow. You know, her apartment was looking like, you know, first, last, and security deposit was basically stressing her ass out. Like, she has a lot of things that are basically peculiar about her. So you're gonna have to try to just break down her walls chip by chip, and hopefully you'll get to the damn promised land. So be persistent, but in your own words, baby, well, it wasn't his own words, it was mine. Don't be a sucker, okay? Advocate for yourself, even though you're being persistent and trying to go along to get along with what she wants. Now, the message for her was attraction can grow, right? Now listen, one thing I really loved about Shaq's friend sitting down with Kirsten is that it was a real life example of attraction growing, right? Shaq's friend said, when we first met, baby, there was no sexual chemistry at all. We weren't even feeling each other in that way. But once I learned more about her, once she learned more about me, I realized that I had this great prize with me here the entire time, right? So isn't that the best thing for truth happening in real life, truth happening right in front of your face, right? So it kind of gave me hope in terms of that whole attraction can grow thing, because if it happened for somebody, that means it could potentially happen for you, right? So it seemed like to me they're doing what they need to do in order to find their way there, right? Now, after that, they basically sat down in terms of Shaq's friends and was asking this lady's questions that I just felt were unfair, right? And baby, listen, in the eternal words of Ebony K. Williams, mama conceded nothing, okay? They asked her about decision day. She said, I ain't thinking about it. Can you see yourself with Shaquille forever? I don't know. I can't say that right now. Good job, girl. In the eternal words of Ebony K. Williams, concede nothing, okay? Because to me, they're unfair questions 2 weeks into this whole living together process, okay? I don't know about decision day. I don't know if I can live with this person forever. And those were honest responses. And sometimes I hate the whole production aspect of it because they'll put the music behind it like it's ominous and stuff like that. No. Anybody given the same situation would be non-committal about the future of a situation that they don't truly know what it is yet. So listen, I'm Team Kirsten in that thing. Concede nothing. Good job. Now let's move on to Gina and Clint. And let's talk about Gina moving in. Can I say a glory hallelujah and y'all say it in the back, okay? Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, baby Jesus, that Gina decided to move into the apartment. I told y'all last week, all she had to do was move into the second bedroom. It's right across from his. Y'all only got to worry about sharing the common areas, okay? If you go and sign up for the process, you can't have 1 foot in your old life and 1 foot in your new life, okay? At least learn to compromise with the man in the same space, and then maybe y'all could grow into the same bedroom by the end of the damn 8 weeks, you know, God willing or whatever. So good job, Gina, and I'm glad that she realized that she was making more of it in her head than what it actually was, right? Now let's move on to this housewarming. And let's talk about this message that they had for him, which is pretty much the same message that that Airris' friends had for Jasmine. You have the fundamentals, let the physical grow, okay? And that's what it is in the situation. Like I said before, you know, I always do it the traditional way in terms of physical first, then, you know, familial values, lifestyle values, etc. But there's no rule book for love, marriage, relationships. You make it what you make of it, okay? And so listen, if you already have the fundamentals, then to me, you're pretty much more than 50% of the way there. If you can develop the physical intimacy like, Shaq's friends, then maybe y'all will have an actual chance of going together. So I think that it's great. Y'all have the fundamentals, y'all are cohabitating in the same space, and now y'all are basically on a better place just in terms of y'all general relationship to let the magic grow if it should grow, right? Now, in terms of their message for her, if you focus on the things that tear you apart, they will continue tearing you apart. Baby, truer words have never been spoken, okay? If you are always focusing on the negative aspects of your relationship, you don't like his physical thing, he don't like your physical thing, you talk about your salon too much, you so worried about the salon and everything going on with that, he's so worried about his boats and being, the Gordon's fisherman. If you focus on everything that's going to tear you apart, it will continue to tear you apart, right? So I'm not saying don't, give rise or don't give acknowledgement to the negative things or the things that make you say, in the relationship, but in going with that, also focus on the positive, focus on your commonalities, focus on where you both see yourself going in this relationship. And it's kind of like that whole positive mindset thing. As you think more positively, more positive things will happen. So good luck to both of them. And y'all, I think that's really all I wanted to talk about on this episode. So if you liked what I said, please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on all social media at DatDamnDasher. And until next time, y'all, listen, one couple down, 4 more to go. And if Nicole and Chris are the front runners, then baby, we should all be worried. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.